everybody? It's your boy Itz-Beez-Da TrackStar, and welcome back to another FL Studio video tutorial. Well, not so much of a tutorial, but I'm pretty much just going to be explaining the stuff you're about to see in this video. FL Studio just came out with a new update, 20.1, as you can see. It definitely has a lot of stuff that I'm looking forward to be honest. The CPU is improved. It's like improved workflow around the CPU and a lot of stuff. So like, you know how with FL Studio, you always used to get glitches when you try to do too much or try to use too many VSTs or stuff like that. So they worked on that. So that's updated. Now you could, from what you've seen in the video, you could add tracks from the playlist, and when you change the name, it changes the name of the mixer track as well, as you can set it to where it changes the name of the step sequencer track as well. And then you can also add VSTs from the playlist. And there you go. It's showing you again, just by changing the color there, you can change the color on the mixer and the step sequencer all at the same time. As far as changing the name, all of that stuff. Now you also, if you drag a VST into the playlist, you could have that VST loaded in from the playlist and also simultaneously getting its own mixer track. Like, so they're adding a lot of new features. They're gonna go over a lot of that stuff in the video. Like I said, they improved on the CPU a lot. But it's pretty much, it's not a complete overhaul. You know, we're still on FL Studio 20. It's just a lot of updates here and there. They also added this feature where you can change the loop back function on the step sequencer, and once they get to that, I'll explain that a little bit more. But it's crazy, man. So another thing, you can also just click on the playlist track now. So just left click on the playlist track to bring up the VST like they just did. Now also, when you add automation, anytime you automate something, it automatically gets grouped in with the track on the playlist. So you can minimize the whole group instead of, like he's about to do it. So instead of like you just making the track itself smaller, you can minimize all the automation in the group. Some plugins have a mute button. I'm not sure if all of them do. So for years and years and years now, FL Studio plugins never had an on and off switch where a lot of other VSTs had that, or a bypass button. Now they have that. They also added an FPS counter, which is cool. It's not something that I use personally. It's just, it's okay. So this is the big thing for me. So in FL Studio, the one big complaint that a lot of people have had for the last probably 4 years, ever since they came out with FL Studio 12, was the fact that the loop function on the step sequencer was kind of messed up. So, you know, back on FL Studio 11, when you make something on the step sequencer, it would automatically just loop back around. So in 12 and up, it never did that anymore, it was like a bummer. It was one of the most annoying things that they could have took out of FL Studio. So now what this is allowing you to do with this little menu to the side, it's giving you the option. So let's say we're in pattern mode, right? And you're making a 16-bar loop, but you don't want every instrument to loop for the 16 bars. So you can set, let's say the kick. You can set the kick to loop for the whole 16 bars, but then you can set the clap to loop for only 8, or you can set the clap to loop for only a half of it or something like that. So it's like it's giving you a lot of control over everything that you're doing. And it's right click. You can right click and change it, or you can just use the left click and drag up and down to change it. And it has a lot of different modes in there. I'll be going over that once I get the actual download. I haven't downloaded it yet. Another thing they added, which is kind of, I don't even know why the fuck they did this. You're now able to go up to 512 steps on the channel rack. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't really care for that. I don't use more than fucking 48 of them, I guess. And then lastly, they added check for updates, automatic check for updates. I'm not sure if it's going to automatically update completely, but it just added check for updates in there. They added some more stuff down here at the bottom. So if you have 20 VSTs in a session, it'll let you know if you have 30 mixer tracks, if you got 20 playlist clips. So whatever you have in the playlist, it keeps track of it. It keeps a count of it, and it can pretty much let you know, or it's just a more in-depth analysis of whatever the hell you're doing. Typically, it will only give you the time and date, year, and how long you've been working on the track. So they're changing little stuff. I mean, the big thing for me is I want them to upgrade the damn CPU performance. That's what. So like I said, they upgraded it. So when I do check it out, I'll see, because I use Omnisphere extensively. So we'll see if that really makes that much of a difference. And then this is what I was talking about earlier. Now you can just drag a VST onto the playlist to create both a mixer track and an insert on the step sequencer. So that's really dope. Third-party VSTs, I believe, are supported. You would just have to add those to your plugin database, and then you will be able to do that. So it's definitely, now this right here is probably the one that I'm really going to enjoy the most. So when you're mixing, right, and you're mixing like guitars. Now, a lot of industry professionals will tell you, guitars, you always want to have one hard pan left, or stereo guitars, you want to have it hard pan left and right. You don't want to have it down the center. So now with this new export mode in FL Studio, it gives you the ability to do that. So now you can export mono, you know. So let's say you're working on a track and you want to export both the stereo information or whatever, or let's say you just want to export the left side of the track. You have the option to do that now on the export settings. And this to me is like, I'm really going to enjoy this. So here you go, mono, that's merged both left and right, and you have mono left only and mono right only. Like I said, that's going to be amazing for me. I love that. The rest of the stuff is the Z Game editor. I like this one right here, to be honest. I'm not sure I will ever be using this, but you know, it is what it is. That's pretty much a good overview for all the new updates or whatever. So until next time, it's your boy Itz-Beez-Da, the TrackStar. Peace.